To the west-northwest, an intermediate update from the National Hurricane Center, bumping winds to 130 miles per hour. And the structure of this storm has improved dramatically through the last 12 hours. Rapid intensification is ongoing at this hour and more than likely will continue to strengthen as we head through the overnight time frame. Back here at home, lows tonight will fall back into the mid to upper 60s under clear skies with high temperatures tomorrow in the low end of the 90s. That's your forecast first. Fox 14 News at 9 starts right now.
From Fox 14, the right news at the right time, and the Spirit of Community Award winner. This is Fox 14 News at 9.
Tracking the tropics. Dorian, now a Category 4 hurricane and growing, so what's fueling its force? And a fallen soldier and deputy returned home. Will bring you details on his homecoming, a 23-year-old Clayton Horn. Plus, the leasing sign may be up, but Backyard Street Food and Pub is still open. Our Chelsea Jones is back to tell us what this could mean for the business. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox is a state of emergency in Florida. Hurricane Dorian, now a dangerous Category 4 storm, packing winds up to 130 miles per hour. Right now, people there are preparing for what could be the strongest hurricane to hit the state's east coast in 3 decades. Nadia Romero is there on the ground in West Palm Beach with the latest.
It is time to get on the roads, make those decisions, board up your house, do your time. Please take this seriously.
There is a danger to your life if you remain in these evacuation zones.
Evacuations haven't been ordered yet, but state officials aren't missing words when it comes to protecting the lives of Floridians.
It is not time to mess around or to think about evacuation. If you're making that decision, please go ahead and get out of town now.
Officials in Key West are now asking visitors to leave if they can, concerned about life-threatening flooding in low-lying areas.
You're looking at potentially life-threatening storm surge, and that is not something that you want to ride out.
Widespread damage in the Virgin Islands is giving officials a snapshot of Dorian's wrath before it became a major hurricane.
We cannot predict what Mother Nature is going to do over the next 72 hours. But we are planning right now.
People in the storm's path are advised to stock up with at least 7 days worth of supplies as state officials prepare to deal with the aftermath.
We're bringing in fuel. We have utilities pre-positioning assets. So there's a lot of things coming into the state to be able to help fight the storm.
In West Palm Beach, I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
Now, although Dorian won't affect the Arklamas, our friends in Florida still need our help. The Monroe LifeShare Blood Center will be shipping some blood to Florida ahead of the storm. The Blood Center says the only way Monroe locals can help is by rolling up their sleeves and giving blood. Because of the storm, people in Florida can't donate, resulting in not enough blood for patients. That's why the local Blood Center is stepping in to help.
As in times past, they rely on other blood centers in the country to help support their blood needs during their natural event and afterwards.
LifeShare will be open Saturday from 8 to 1 at their Blood Center in Monroe, and they'll also be open Monday from 8 to 2 at the Blood Center, and they'll have buses at the West Monroe and Ruston Walmart Supercenters. Well, it was a hero's homecoming in Wynn Parish today. Dozens of people lined the streets to watch the procession for fallen soldier Clayton Horn. Horn was not only a soldier, but a Wynn Parish Sheriff's deputy. According to a post made by the Wynn Parish Sheriff's Office, the 23-year-old U.S. Army Reserve military police officer died after falling off a tower overseas in Saudi Arabia. Those who knew Horn remember him as a kind-hearted man who loved serving his community and country.
He was a very well-mannered, respectful young man. I mean, dedicated to his job, to his country, loved everybody. People loved him.
Horn was recently engaged and planned on returning to the sheriff's office in October. His services will be held in Winfield on Sunday. Well, it may be confusing for some as you drive down Main Street in West Monroe to see the leasing signs in front of Backyard Street Food and Pub. Some think they're closed, but Fox 14's Chelsea Jones has news for you. Chelsea?
Well, Sarah, they are in fact open, and yes, they are for sale, but Backyard is here to stay. Here's a look at what's going on. Backyard Street Food and Pub has been open since June. But these sale signs went up, business slowed down and people started asking questions.
We've seen it a little dip after the signs came up, and we have a lot of people calling, so I know that it's affecting it.
At first, business was booming.
We're having sometimes upwards of 200 mini golfers on Saturdays.
So owner Mitch Breton wanted to clear the air and says backyard is open and let adults know there's something in it for you too.
You can come and you can get a beverage at the pub down there, and you can carry it with you out to the mini golf, enjoy yourself there.
West Monroe is developing quickly with expansion at the Ike to Surge the Entertainment Center. Business partners there shared their support in a statement that reads in part, "We were and are looking forward to being neighbors and helping each other turn that area into an entertainment destination North Louisiana can be proud of."
I almost feel like they're personally vested in our success as much as we are. And the same thing with Surge. We're looking forward to it. The things we offer, Surge is not necessarily going to have.
So Bratton says, ignore the signs and come inside.
If something happens, someone buys it, they're basically taking us along with it due to the lease.
Bratton says more improvements are coming to Backyard Street Food and Pub, and a big announcement is coming in about 2 weeks, so stay tuned. In the studio, Chelsea Jones, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Chelsea. Now on to the crime beat. A Monroe man has been arrested after police say he shot the mother of his children. Justin Miniweather is charged with attempted second-degree murder. Miniweather is accused of shooting the mother of his 2 children in the abdomen. Their 2 sons, under the age of 8, were at the apartment when the shooting happened. Investigators say they recovered 15 9mm shell casings. Miniweather is also charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. His bond has not been set. And in the meantime, a West Monroe man is also facing an attempted murder charge. Terry Montague is accused of shooting a relative in the chest. The victim and witness say that they went to meet Montague, and when they arrived, Montague fired 2 shots from his carport. One of the shots struck the victim in his chest. Montague is also charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Monroe police are investigating an overnight shooting that left 1 man injured. According to Monroe police, the shooting happened around midnight last night. The victim was found with non-life-threatening injuries. No suspect has been named. If you know something, please call Crime Stoppers. Well, officials are expecting many lakegoers this Labor Day weekend, but with the excitement comes the risk of accidents. That's why it's important to keep a few safety tips in mind to make sure your 3-day weekend is smooth sailing. Officials say it's important for boaters to keep an eye out for jet ski riders, kayakers, and swimmers, and always make sure to have enough life jackets for every passenger, even if you don't think you're going to use them.
Children 16 and under have to wear an approved, Coast Guard approved PFD, personal flotation device, while the boat's underway.
It's also important to remember teens driving watercrafts under the age of 16 without parent supervision is not only dangerous, but illegal. And if you're hitting the road for one last summer trip this holiday weekend, here's some good news for your pockets. According to AAA, national gas prices are on track to be the lowest Labor Day weekend prices in the past 3 years. A spokesperson for AAA says Thursday's average of $2.59 is nearly a quarter cheaper than last year's prices. It's also less money that folks spent for gas at the Memorial Day holiday at the beginning of the summer. Well, there you go, Jared. There's some good news.
That's one little good news, but the bad news to that is Florida already have gas shortages because of Dorian. So, again, kind of the catch-22 there. Speaking of Dorian, not a foregone conclusion that it will make landfall in Florida. The models continue to shift, and we'll take a look at the latest as Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Thanks, Jared. Also coming up on Fox 14, Twitter's CEO has been hacked. We'll share what happened and what the social media giant is doing to rectify the situation. And a hungry man gets in a chicken suit over Popeyes, but not the kind of suit you're thinking about. We'll explain. That and more is up next on Fox 14 News at 9.
Edwards Body Works. Reliable since 1971.
It's another march through the playoffs, and your Go Black and Gold team is tracking the Who Dat the whole way. Tune in as we break down the plays, matchups, and reports from inside the locker room. Then sound off and make your opinion heard as we go Black and Gold tonight at 9:30 on Fox 14. Brought to you by Go Auto. Get the 6-minute advantage with the live Storm Tracker Doppler radar on Fox 14, keeping you and your family safe. Brought to you by E. Orem Young Law, the bankruptcy specialist.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
Hey. Really? Hi, guys.
We like the gray.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get the bottom line on the last of our 2019s, like the Tech Advanced Rogue and Altima. Hurry in for Model Year-End savings on our full line. Now, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Rogue.
When Ralph Abraham ran for Congress, he made a promise.
Elected, I've told you that I would donate my salary to St. Jude's and the Independence Organization.
That's right. Abraham promised to donate his salary to sick children and wounded veterans. But for years, Abraham secretly pocketed that salary, even though he's worth more than $12 million. And now he wants to be governor? Ralph Abraham.
Donate my salary.
Looking out for himself, not you. Paid for and authorized by Gumbo Pack.
From the start, the C-Class was ahead of its time. Still, we never stopped making it stronger, faster, smarter. Because to be the best is to never, ever stop making it better. There's never been a better time to become part of the Mercedes-Benz family. Lease the C300 sedan for just $389 a month at the Mercedes-Benz summer event. Hurry in now. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Look at the live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. A little bit of rainfall moving in through portions of Ouachita and Columbia counties in southwestern Arkansas. So if you're in these areas, don't be surprised if you run into an isolated storm over the next 20 to 30 minutes. And that's kind of the similar potential for rainfall that we could run into this holiday weekend. Far western counties and parishes, far southern parishes in the ArkLaMiss probably have the best chance of very, very isolated rainfall. I gave the rain chances less than 10%, not even worth really putting in the forecast. But again, that doesn't mean that with some of these storms in our general vicinity that we could see some of it spill into our area through the late afternoon and early evening hours. Really all told, rain-free, northeasterly winds continuing to push that dry air in, although it was another warm afternoon. Most of us seeing low to mid-90s for high temperatures, and with that, dew points in the mid to upper 60s again makes for a somewhat more tolerable air mass, especially for the last few days of August. This frontal system really no big bother for us for the time being. A big ridge of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere, coincidentally the same ones that'll be steering Dorian over the next couple of days, really has the grip on our forecast, and that continues to provide a lot of sinking, compressing, warming air. We still have the dry air to play with over the next couple of days, but winds will return from the northeast to the east to the southeast as we head through the holiday weekend, so low-level moisture will be increasing. All right, here's the latest on Dorian, and again, the National Hurricane Center issued their 7 o'clock intermediate update, then had to come right back at 7:30 once they got the new information in from the National Hurricane, Hurricane Hunters, and had to upgrade this to Category 4 hurricane. Pressure down from 970 to 950 millibars, so we just went through a pretty strong bout of rapid intensification, seeing winds go from about 115 miles per hour up to 130. So now a Category 4 storm, that very symmetric eye, very, very impressive structure, improving drastically over the last 6 hours or so. Still expecting to maintain Category 4 status at this point. We really can't rule out Category 5 status, and also still watching that recurve potential. And in fact, I wanted to show this to you briefly. A lot of the computer models in the last, you can hear spaghetti plots a lot. Now, I really wanted to show these to you. A lot of the latest computer models don't even have a Florida landfall. It moves it right up to the Florida coast. The storm finds that weakness in the ridge and starts turning northward. So the Georgia and the Carolinas need to start keeping an eye out for heavier impacts from Dorian. Although it looked like a Florida landfall was almost inevitable, that may not be the case anymore. So we could see pretty high hurricane impacts all up the southeastern coastline. Upper 70 70s to low 80s for most of us at this hour, and we'll see upper 60s overnight under clear skies with winds generally calm. Low 90s for highs tomorrow, mostly sunny. Again, rain chances close to 0, but not necessarily at 0. Look at the rest of the forecast as we head through the next 7 days. Highs in the low to mid 90s. Morning lows climbing from the upper 60s to low 70s as we head through the next 7 days or so as well. Rain chances pretty limited. Not too shabby for the holiday weekend. Carry the sunscreen with you, obviously. Bottle of water, probably not a bad idea either. And we'll continue to keep an eye on Dorian for folks in the southeast as we head through the next several days.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jared.
You bet.
Coming up on Fox 14 News at 9, another Hollywood star's light goes dim. We've got to look back at the life and legacy of Valerie Harper. We're back in just 3 minutes.
John Kleigel's here for Interstate and West Monroe. It's our summer clearance event and our anything for trade sale. Bring it in, whatever it is. We're taking it for trade towards your new vehicle. Boats, jewelry, four-wheelers, even livestock. And you get to drive your new vehicle, a Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, or Fiat of your dreams. Shop InterstateDodge.com. We're taking anything, so bring it in to Interstate Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in West Monroe.
Just in time for the Second Amendment sales tax holiday, it's the Polaris factory authorized clearance. Bayou Power Sports has big rebates up to $3,500 on the best Polaris ATV, up to $1,000 on Polaris Sportsman, $1,200 on General, $1,500 on Polaris Rangers. Plus, lay away your new Polaris at Bayou Power Sports. Pick it up September 6th or 7th and pay only 4.45% sales tax. Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road, just past Sam's Monroe. This is money at other banks. They act like it's theirs. This is money at Homeland Bank. We know it's yours. We take great care of your money. With competitive interest rates on CDs, money market, and savings accounts, we help it grow. We put it to work here in our community to help you start a new business or buy a new house. Real customer service and attention to detail like banking used to be. We're Homeland Bank, your local bank. Where's your money?
First 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Get over $10,000 total value on this next generation 2019 Sierra Crew Cab SLT, or get 20% below MSRP on these 2019 Double Cab and SLE Crew Cab models with a traditional tailgate.
See your Monroe area GMC dealer.
Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember, with favorites like Sunday Homestyle Chicken now available every day. And our new sweet and smoky Homestyle Chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Just one drop.
Oh! Gorilla Super Glue Micro Precise. Of course.
Precise application, controlled dispensing with Gorilla Strength for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Hey. Really? Hi, guys.
We like the gray.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get the bottom line on the last of our 2019s, like the Tech Advanced Rogue and Altima. Hurry in for Model Year-End savings on our full line. Now, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Rogue.
14 News at 9 continues.
Valerie Harper's daughter says the beloved actress died this morning. Harper, who turned 80 last week, is best known for her role as Rhoda, a character she first brought to life on the beloved 70s sitcom, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Here's Stephanie Elam.
She was the girl upstairs, the best friend. As Rhoda Morgenstern, the unforgettable sidekick in the 1970s hit series, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Born in New York in 1939, Valerie Harper grew up studying ballet and started out as a dancer on Broadway. But it was in Los Angeles where she was discovered by a casting agent. Harper was asked to audition for the role as the single girl from New York, who landed in Minneapolis on The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
I'm going crazy with hunger. Well, eat something. I can't. I got to lose 10 pounds by 8:30.
She played the funny, imperfect pal to America's sweetheart, Mary Richards. It was a part that would quickly launch her career as an actress. She won 3 Emmys for her role on Mary Tyler Moore before leaving the show in 1974 to star in its spin-off, Rhoda.
My name is Rhoda Morgenstern. I was born in the Bronx, New York, in December 1941.
Her portrayal of Rhoda earned Harper another Emmy and a Golden Globe before the series ended in 1978. That year also brought an end to her first marriage to actor Richard Shaw. She married her second husband, Tony Cacciati, 9 years later.
If I could replay
During an interview with CNN's Piers Morgan, Harper said one of the biggest milestones in her life was meeting Cacciati.
Having Tony Cacciati in my life, at my side, at my back, helping me in every way possible and enjoying life with me and traveling and all the things we've done.
Together, the couple adopted their only child, Christina. She was public about the adoption, speaking to CNN's Larry King about the biological mother in 2000.
We read a note to her from her birth mom, and it was, we sat together and I blessed the woman.
Professionally, she stayed active on stage and in movies. In 1986, Harper headlined in the family sitcom Valerie as Valerie Hogan. She was fired from the series in a salary dispute with NBC at the end of its second season. She won more than $1 million from the network and production company in the wrongful firing suit which followed. The show, which eventually became The Hogan Family, continued for years without her. She reunited with Moore in 2000 for Mary and Rhoda, a TV movie that brought their iconic characters back together again. Behind the scenes, Harper got involved in the women's liberation movement and fought for the Equal Rights Amendment. The Screen Actors Guild member unsuccessfully ran for president of the Guild in 2001, losing to fellow actress Melissa Gilbert. In her memoir, I, Rhoda, the non-smoker opened up about getting over lung cancer in 2009. But her battle with cancer was long from over. In March 2013, the TV icon revealed to People magazine that while rehearsing for a stage show, she learned she had a rare terminal brain cancer. She received chemotherapy and kept a positive attitude.
Don't go to the funeral, mine or yours or your loved ones, until the day of the funeral, because then you miss the life that you have left.
Harper leaves behind her husband and a daughter.
President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, could be sentenced as early as this fall. Flynn has pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with a former Russian ambassador. His lawyers say that he is not ready to be sentenced, arguing that they have hundreds of thousands of documents to review. The defense team also accuses prosecutors of withholding other documents and audio recordings related to the charges. However, federal prosecutors say they have handed over everything and have asked the judge for a sentencing hearing sometime in late October or the first half of November. Twitter's CEO is fighting to take back control of his own account after it was hacked. This afternoon, several racist and anti-Semitic tweets were sent from Jack Dorsey's account. The posts have since been deleted. The company tweeted that it's investigating the matter. Last year, Twitter told Congress that Dorsey had a two-factor authentication for his personal Twitter and email accounts. Up next, Jared has one last look at your 7-day forecast. That's next on Fox 14. Stay with us.
It's Honda's Summer Spectacular event at North Louisiana's favorite Honda store, Ryan Honda in Monroe. When it's gotta be a Honda, and it's gotta be the best possible price, you know it's gotta be Ryan Honda on Oliver Road. Shop over 200 Hondas with special summertime discounts. This summer, drive new HRVs or CRVs for $159 a month. $159 a month. Come see why so many people are buying at Ryan. Ryan Honda. Your Honda, your way. RyanHondaMonroe.com.
September 6th, 7th, and 8th, No Tax Weekend is on at Simmons Sporting Goods. Be fall weather ready in a Drake flooded timber coat, just $279.99.
No tax.
Hunt in comfort with a Drake Strata Systems coat, a low $89.99.
No tax.
Discover the new Banded Red Zone 2.0 breathable waders, now $399.99.
No tax.
We're open No Tax Weekend until 7, Friday and Saturday, and 11 to 5 on Sunday. And get 24 months same as cash at Simmons Sporting Goods.
All right, so this is how it's going to go down. You are going to say, you'll get the best deal of the year on Xfinity TV and Internet. And you even get this. Mike, you're on balloons. Sarah, you're going to high-five everybody. Ben, you're going to be wowing them with your dance moves.
Don't miss the Xfinity Best Deal of the Year. That's simple, easy, awesome. Now's the time for amazing TV and internet during our Best Deal of the Year. You'll get huge savings with 2 years of DVR service and 1 year of Showtime included. And ask about even more savings with Xfinity Mobile. Click, call, or visit a store today.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like the great deals on select models from Ford, America's best-selling brand. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. Don't miss 0 for 60 plus 1,000 bonus cash and 1,000 trade assist on Ranger. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Final look at the 7-day forecast shows afternoon highs in the low to mid-90s over the next couple of days. Morning lows will remain generally in the upper end of the 60s. But as winds return to the southeast and humidity starts to ramp up by the first of next week, morning lows will be back in the low end of the 70s and really a return to a more typical summertime pattern. Mid-90s with heat index values likely into the triple digits. That could happen as early as really Sunday or Monday, but more likely Monday into Tuesday. Rain chances are scarce, but can't rule out a very isolated shower or storm even through the holiday weekend.
When these two animals entered the shelter together, the staff decided to make sure that they left that way too. And a diagnosis no one would wish on anyone is bringing two special ladies together for a cause. Meredith Wood has these stories in today's Take a Look at This.
Go to any animal shelter and you're sure to see bonded pairs of dogs and cats looking for homes. But at the Bucks County SPCA, they're running a special 2-for-1. Adopt a mini horse, get a goose.
If you want to adopt Waffles, you have to take Hemingway. If you want to adopt Hemingway, you have to take Waffles.
These best buddies were rescued from a farm where conditions were subpar. So now when it comes to his best bud, Hemingway ain't horsing around.
When we go to have medicines or injections, Hemingway would get in between and say, I'm sorry, that's my buddy the horse. He doesn't want a shot today.
Up next, another type of bond, this time between two courageous ladies, each fighting cancer. Beth Pendergrass has breast cancer, but she's using the diagnosis as a way to raise awareness and have a bit of fun. She started creating famous pop culture moments with herself as the star.
I always believe that it's important to keep laughing and to keep a positive attitude when you go through anything challenging, not just cancer.
When 11-year-old Tally saw pictures, she knew she wanted to help. Tally herself is battling stage 4 neuroblastoma. Now they are inspiring each other and those around them and having fun doing it.
I like to laugh a lot, and I thought it was good that she was doing these things just to keep on smiling through all of it.
For Take a Look at This.
What a sweet story.
Absolutely. I think they all look great.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that's going to be it for us. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great night.